Hello everyone, my name's Hollowed Nightmares and today we're going to keep playing DDBlue Skies. Now, if we remember, last time when we were playing, we had a serious case of jealousy and well, we're going to have to go to therapy. Why? Let's just jump right back into it before I forget. As you can tell, this was updated in December 4th. And yeah, it's been 3 days. As my eyes slowly open, I can't help but feel nervous about how today will go. I can only imagine how nervous Sayori is. It's such a big step for her too. I just hope it goes well. Hey Sayori, ready to get going?
Yeah,
She is a little quiet, and not quite as chipper as she usually is. The journey to the clinic is a quiet one. Thankfully, it's a short walk anyway. Well, that was interesting. Her therapist was incredibly patient and empathetic, never once being insensitive with his questioning. He spent the majority of the session getting a picture of her current life situation, to which Sayori was generally compliant. I think that after she told me about her depression, it might have become a little easier to talk about it, given I was the first person she confessed to. She didn't look entirely uncomfortable, but after a few reassuring smiles from me, she was able to answer his questions. The session passed by relatively quickly, and before we knew it, it was already over. Sayori is quiet as she breaks the silence.
I've heard a few horror stories about people who get really insensitive therapists. And I was really scared that he'd be one of them. But he was really patient, so that could have gone a lot worse.
She preserved the silence. I'm really proud of you, Sayori. I know that must have been really hard for you to do. What with how confusing all of this can be. It really does make me happy that you're doing this.
I'm glad to hear that, Hollow. I really am. By the way, can we spend the rest of the day together? I don't want to go home just yet.
Of course we can. Cuddling up on the couch it is. Oh, schnitzel. After swinging by the shops to get some snacks, we find ourselves back in our typical cuddling spot. The sofa. The poor sofa. Or couch. Both ways are the same. It's rather quiet between us. Given, I suppose, after the therapy session, there's a lot to take in for both of us. Tagging along to the session raised so many questions in my mind. Though, now isn't the best time to ask them though. Hey Sayori,
Yeah? Yeah?
why don't we play something?
We don't have enough people for a board game, though.
Nah, I don't mean board games. Remember when we used to play video games together? When we were kids? I've always found video games as a really good way to escape reality. Last year I was really lonely. I found it helped to take my mind off things. Plus there's some games I have that I think you might enjoy. Don't say Minecraft. She sits up.
Sure, that could be fun. What games are you thinking of? Wait, what are you thinking of?
As it turns out, I still have some of those games we used to play. You remember Banjo-Kazooie?
Ooh, the one with the bear?
I forgot who the other one. Yep, that's the one. Let's give it a whirl. I was hoping gaming has proven to be a wonderful way. As I was hoping, gaming has proven to be a wonderful way to get her mind off therapy. She's truly lost in the colorful, immersive world with her face scrunched up in determination. At first, she wasn't very good at the game, struggling with the controls, getting lost and generally being unsure of what she's meant to do. Although, after a few pointers from me, she really started to pick it up, and was soon getting the hang of it. Sayori can be really good at things when she puts her mind to it. It's almost uncanny how skilled she can be, especially as it contrasts against the airhead vibe she can give off.
Aha! I knew I'd find a jigsaw piece here.
I laugh. She's having a great time, and it's heartwarming to see her so happy. Even, even if it's over just a video game, nothing will ever beat seeing Sayori smiling. You'll never know just how cute you are, Sayori.
Huh?
Just seeing you happy makes me so happy. And I swear that nothing will ever change that.
Aw. Not that I'm complaining or anything, but where did all of this come from?
Truth be told, I'm not really sure. Being with her in the therapy room just now was quite eye-opening for me. Not just because I got to see how therapy works, but just because. Well, because it's really dawning on me that she has depression, and this is something we can deal with alone. Of course, I believed her when she said she was depressed back in November, but well, meeting the therapist and watching him do his job really drove the point home. I'm obviously really glad she's seeking help, but it made me think. She's been depressed for a long time, and I've only recently came back into her life. So what was life like for her while we weren't friends? Probably awful and super lonely.
Hello? Are you here? You're looking kinda sad. What's up?
A bright smile does nothing for my guilt. I'm sorry, Sayori.
What are you sorry for, silly?
We've only properly begun to hang out not too long ago, right? Since September.
Yeah?
She pauses the game and sets the controller down, sensing the urgency in the situation. And you've been depressed for so many years, but I wasn't there for you. We drifted apart all because of what? Because I was an idiot? An idiot who prioritized gaming and anime over you. I can't even imagine how hard things were for you when we weren't really talking.
Hello, none of that is your fault.
She gently takes my hands in hers. And part of me thinks that, well, had I made more of an effort with you back then, perhaps you're. Okay.
Us drifting didn't cause me to be depressed, Hollow. Truthfully, I don't really know why I developed depression. There's a lot I don't know about my condition, but one thing I know is that it doesn't really need a reason. That's why my doctor said the last time I tried therapy. So please, don't you ever think that you somehow contributed to my depression, okay? You're like the polar opposite. When I'm with you, I'm happy. You make me feel I'm actually worth something. Even though my brain tries really hard to tell me that you're lying.
Yeah, but that's in the present. What about in the past, when there were years where we didn't hang at all?
I actually had this conversation with Monica once. It's normal for friendships to be like that, I think. You can go a long time without talking to someone, but if you reconnect with them and you can both get along as if nothing ever happened, did anything really change?
I pause upon hearing her words. I guess she does have a point, but I'm finding it hard to internalize. She reaches forward and strokes my face, gently lifting my chin up so we maintain eye contact.
The way I see it, we get along just as well as when we did as kids. Besides, what happened in the past was the past. If anything, the time apart made me appreciate the time I do spend with you even more.
God's love, please kill me. Well, I'm glad you feel that way, Sayori. I really am. It's just, well, you going to therapy today made me realize the reality of depression, and it made me reflect on how much I've been absent in your life. I didn't mean to spring this on you out of the blue like that. Especially when you wanted to take your mind off at therapy. It was pretty inconsiderate of me.
It's okay. It really is. I'm just glad that we can talk these things out, you know? You've been really patient with me, so it's the least I can do for you. And I'd much rather we talked about whatever bothers you than than you bottling it up. After all, bottles are meant to be shared, right?
For fuck's sake, did you just say about that fucking poem? I can't help but laugh. That was clever. If you say so.
I do. Seriously, Hollow, please don't blame yourself for anything, okay? I've been much happier ever since you came back into my life. I wouldn't have been able to go to therapy if you weren't with me. And like you said, well, I agree it is a big step to take.
There's a faraway look in her eyes as she ponders the next words.
I'd gone so many years thinking that this was something I'd have to bear alone. But I have to admit that it's nice not having.
Huh? What? But I have to admit that it's nice not having to go.
But I have to admit that it's nice not having to go through this by myself.
She squeezes my hand.
Besides, we can't really change the past, can we?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You really do have such a big heart, you know that? Nothing ever changed with you.
And that's never going to change. It's moments like these that really bring about a warm, fuzzy feeling inside of me. I've never felt anything like this before, but it feels so right.
Now, I think we have some jigsaws to collect.
Of course. Let's get back to the game, shall we? She reaches for the controller and starts playing once more. Within seconds, we're whisked away into a world of childhood memories. The feel of her warmth in my arms, the sound of her innocent laughter, and the smell of her... Dude, do I have a hair fetish or something? This guy has been smelling her since the beginning. Do I have a fetish or something? Like, literally. I can remember... I haven't played this in a long time, yes, but I still remember every time he talks about her smell. Do you have a fetish, man? That little voice of guilt remains, but it's now easier to ignore it.
Wow, it's super late already. And tomorrow's school day as well. No fun.
Tell me about it. Monday mornings are the absolute worst. Not even Sakurai can save them.
I just want another break.
We just had our Christmas one.
I know. Oh well. Anyway, I should get going.
Aw, leaving so soon. My attempt at pulling a puppy-eye dog eyes causes her to laugh and shake her head.
But it's late.
I reach toward her and pull her into an embrace. In a playful attempt to stop her from leaving, I push her back down onto the sofas, wrapping my arm tightly around her body. You fall into my grand trap. Now there is no escape.
Ah,
What the hell?
you've caught me. Whatever can I do?
Nothing. My mastermind plan is absolutely foolproof.
Is it Sayori proof?
What do you... Okay, it's another kiss. Her lips made mine, and immediately I'm taken away into another world. Man, it's almost scary how powerful the sensation is whenever we kiss. No fair.
Are you complaining? If you'd prefer, I could just. Her tone is innocent and playful. Not kiss you again?
Hey, I didn't say that. Okay, you win. But there's one thing you didn't prepare for.
Oh, and what could that be?
I quickly boop her on the nose. Boop.
Wah. Surprise sneaky boops aren't allowed.
Oh, but surprise sneaky kisses are?
You had me trapped.
Oh, I forgot to remove my mouse.
You had me trapped. It was just self-defense.
So was my boob.
This isn't over, meanie.
Look forward to our rematch then. I reach over to and check my phone. It's almost midnight. As much as I hate to admit it, we probably should call it a day. Although having said that, an idea just popped into my mind. Okay, Sayori. How about... Do I have to talk about this? I'm gonna love this day. Why don't you stay the night?
Eh? Here?
That way we can also make breakfast tomorrow morning before school.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Where would we sleep though?
Well, I was thinking I could take the sofa and you could take my bed.
Nuh-uh, there's no way I'm letting that happen. You can sleep with me.
Oh. Wait. Hold up. It's active? Okay. I swear to God, Sayori. This thing is on, so don't fuck up. There is an awkward silence for a second, made slightly comical by the fact Sayori hasn't realized the implications of her words.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean it like that. You know what I meant. Anyway, I'm just gonna go get myself from my place, so I'll be back in a second.
Alright. After completing my bedtime preparations, I wearily slide into the bed, thinking about the conversations that took place today. There's been a lot to take in, I suppose ever since Sayori became my girlfriend. There's always been a nagging fear that I'm getting into something that's way beyond me. Going to therapy has helped dispel that worry though. Today was relatively smooth, and I'm hoping that doesn't change. I'm gonna tell you something real quick. Something way beyond you is Yuri. That girl might be strict, logical, and every other thing that is made to be intelligent, but she is way more into masochism than even Sayori. Natsuki has daddy issues. That is not way beyond. You could just go like, why don't you just come to my home, pack your stuff, and then come here? Of course, the law doesn't allow it, but still, if you have the right clauses and you invoke the fifth, or whatever, yes, I watch those videos now, that would happen. Now, Monica's just Monica. I don't really expect what the hell you want with her. Now, let's go back into this moment. Faintly, I hear the click of the front door, followed by footsteps.
I'm just gonna get changed, then I'll join you.
As Sayori approaches the bed, I can't help but notice how nice her legs look in these shorts. Are we in the 1970s or something like that? Well, not even in 1970s. I think it was like 1900s or 1800s, sorry. 1600s or 1800s, one of those two, or the middle one. Basically, the time where girls used to wear a lot of skirts and men would just fall for their legs. Wow, what the hell? I'm disappointed now. Won't you be cold in those pajamas?
Nope. I've you to warm me up, remember?
I'm suddenly very grateful that I have the blanket covering my body. She slides in next to me, pulling the blanket over herself slowly. She inches over to me and positions herself so that the top of her head lies just below my chin. Resting her head on my chest, she looks up to me, moves in a quick kiss and giggles. At such proximity, I can hear her heartbeat. Her hands feel soft and warm against the fabric of my shirt. She's incredibly warm, but it isn't overbearing in the slightest. On instinct, I wrap my arm around her body and rest my face atop of her hair. Good night, Sayori. I plant a kiss on her forehead.
Good night, Hollow.
Okay, stage 1 of dating. Sleeping on someone else's bed. This song is a bit sad. Suddenly, I'm pulled out of my sleep by what appears to be sobbing. As I slowly fight the grogginess, I'm also aware of a slight dampness on my chest. I hate it when Sayori has a nightmare. The feeling of powerlessness, the sound of her tears, the look of anguish on her face, it always hits hard. Everyone gets the fear of seeing their loved one feel pain. But I sound like a sadist. Okay, to people who don't know what's a sadist from what I remember, is a person who, well, enjoys causing, no, not causing, but like provoking or doing whatever to other people. Let me just search it real quick so that I can explain better. Okay, here it is. A sadist is a person who takes pleasure in inflicting pain, punishment, or humiliation on others. Oh, well, that's not what I meant. Okay, never mind. Basically, the type of person that likes a lot of the drama. I love drama. Drama is my favorite meal of the day. I hate it. Okay, I've already said that.
Why can't you hear me? I need you. Come back. Please come back.
Isn't she supposed to be asleep? Sayori, I gently shake her. Shh, Sayori, it's okay. I'm here. It's okay. I hold her as she carries on whimpering. She clings to me even harder, shaking with fear. I can only imagine what's going on inside her head. I fumble for my phone. The blinding glare tells me that it's 7:01.
Hello?
It's me, Sayori. You're just having a nightmare. Don't worry, I've got you. I stroke her hair softly as her crying subsides.
That was horrible.
What happened? She takes a deep breath and composes herself.
Everything was so dark. You, Yuri, Bonnie, and Natsuki, you were all there. But whenever I tried to talk to you, it was like there was an invisible bubble around me. None of you could hear me, but there was this shadowy figure that kept talking to me.
Hello, Hotoyoshi. Fresh tears fill her eyes once more.
And it kept saying horrible, horrible things. It told me that I was useless and that everyone would be so much better off if I wasn't around. That you would be so much happier with Yuri. And that therapy is pointless and I'm just fighting a losing battle.
Maybe the shadowy figure is depression. And the bubble, I guess, is trying to keep her away from happiness?
It's nothing more than false hope, no matter how hard I try to believe otherwise. She snivels. I tried calling out to you, to the other girls, to anyone, but it was just me and the voice tormenting me, telling me everything that I've been trying hard, so hard not to believe. It felt so real, Hollow, so real. Just when I thought things might have a chance of being okay again. I hate this. Why can't I be normal? And it's already 7. Ugh, I'm sorry, Hollow. I just can't go to school today.
It's okay, I won't go either.
Huh? But what about...
I couldn't care less about that. There's no way in hell that I'm going to leave you alone after what you just experienced. I can't miss the odd day of school, it's fine. She opens her mouth to protest, but upon seeing the steely resolution on my face, she reluctantly abates. I'll get you some water. Be back in a second.
I don't know why I'm like this, Hollow. Why is it that something as stupid as a little nightmare makes me feel this bad? I was hoping that finally there was a light at the end of the tunnel. But that was just naive of me, wasn't it?
Let me explain to you the harsh truth of a tunnel. There was this one time, when I was training karate, my sensei told me to meditate. Imagine that you're in a tunnel, trying to find the light out. And me being me who loves drama, I said, yeah, but there are alligators here. But what I meant with there are alligators is that no matter how hard you try to find the light, if you went down a dark path, the light will always be 5 times far away from you. I mean, you can try to get the light. I will support you on that, but it's not always cheerfulness. Stories, movies, everything not always has a good ending. Yes, the books we read all have good endings. I won't protest. But the thing I learned is that the deep dark truth behind these stories is The happy ending just hides what really happened. Let's picture this, for example. I write stories. That is actually real. And I'm a fan, okay, I'm not a fan of happy ish endings. Of course, I can give a happy ending, but after a deep, tremendous story. So I have these two OCs, Lorcan and James. These two are the iconics of the story of Cutvia. So what happens is James. Okay, I won't spoil what exactly happened on the story of James, and neither of Lorcan because I'll post a link of one of the Wattpad. But what happens is, no matter how hard James tries to, well, resurrect someone, he fails because everyone around him betrays him in a way. Now, Lorcan, on the other hand, he is chased by his past. So, no matter how hard he tries to forget it, he is chased by the endless torment of his past. What is his past, you may ask? Well, since I won't really post what the hell happened back there, Lorcan lived in a. Well, what was the village called again? Oh, yeah. He lived in a village called Cientanir. Cientanir. And what happened there is they were living a happily ever after life. A typical end of a story, yes, but then, being Cutvir, the orcs invaded his village, and there was no one to defend the village. Not even he can. Not even he could. Being Lorcan himself, of course. He couldn't because at that time he was powerless. Or, well, he didn't have anything to help him fight the orcs. What he did is typically try to run away with his wife and child. But from what he saw, it was too late. He walked inside a house, and to his own sight, he saw his two only family down on the ground, all dead. And there was two orcs standing atop of them with two large katanas. Lorcan, being Itrianutgal, he got mad, but first he wasn't red. He was in pain, anguish, all the words you can define for sadness. He fell to his knees and cried, softly cried. The orcs noticed him and walked closer and closer to him. But then, a sudden glimpse of a red eye could have been seen. His eyes turned full black, and his pupils turned red as a demonaga. When they blinked, he just disappeared completely. And then soon enough, it could have been seen that they were stabbed in his chest by the same swords they used to stab his wife and child. And yeah. Afterwards, he dealt with the rest of the orcs in his town, but to his surprise, when he got out of the house, everything was burned. Burned to the crisp. There was charred bodies deteriorating a lot. And then, when he thought everything was hopeless, a king known as... Oh, frick, I forgot his name again. I think it was... Okay, I forgot his name for real. But he's known as the kindest king in Cutvia. What he typically did is he invited Lorcan to his, well, kingdom, and he offered him a job as one of his loyal soldiers, and Lorcan obviously had to accept because he had nowhere to go anymore. He accepted, he climbed up the ranks, and then he became a warlord, thus starting the chapter, I forgot the name of it again. Wait, let me search it up again. Wattpad. Uh, Warlord's Redemption. In a basic explanation of what Warlord's Redemption is that Warlord's Redemption is an adventure or an ongoing of the first chapter called The Legend of the Monster King. What happens there is that, well, Lorcan, the second protagonist of the whole Cute Fear story, he goes through an entire adventure going through a redemption that he never thought he would achieve. And because of the story told you guys of how he began his life, well, what happened to start Lorcan Kirmander, yeah, the ending is okay. I won't say that it's good, but it's not bad as well. It's not as bad as the first one, where yeah, if you read it, you'll know what I mean. Anyways, enough story time. Time to go back into the game.
But that was just naive of me, wasn't it?
Triple dots.
It's okay. You don't have to say anything, Hollow. I know you might feel like you have to say some magical words to make me feel better, but all you have to do is listen.
Triple dots.
What really hurt me was that voice telling me that you'd be so much better off with Yuri as your girlfriend. I'm trying really hard to believe that I'm a good girlfriend and that I'm worth your time, but those doubts are always there, in the back of my mind. I know you'd never break my trust, but I just wish I could convince my stupid brain to see it the same way. And it's so unfair because I can see how hard you're trying. Please believe me when I say I really appreciate you, Hollow. I'm just so scared that it might all be for nothing.
What do you mean?
Well, what if I never get better? What if I'm always going to be like this? My pieces are all broken. You're trying so hard to put them back together, but what if you can't? What if you can't put them back together because some of them are gone?
What do you mean some of them are gone? Are you a fucking puzzle now? Oh, sorry, I forgot a puzzle piece under my table. Seriously, really?
I hate feeling like this. Feeling like I've lost something. Something that I'll never get back. No matter how good your support or how well therapy goes. I can't remember the last time I wasn't so tired, Hollow.
I have to sit in a good position because, oh god.
That's the worst part about depression. The exhaustion never goes away. An exhaustion that sleep can never fix. The only good thing about sleep is that it's an escape from my mind, at least for a few hours. Well, when I don't have nightmares, and I'm just so tired of it all.
Kiss. Tears slowly start leaking down her face once more. Her face looks utterly resigned. Yes, that's the drama I have been looking for the past 20 years. Okay, that's bullshit.
I wish that I could just wake up one day and actually have hope.
She faces me with a sad smile. Her cheeks glisten with tears. This is not a face of tears. This is a face of concern.
Actual genuine hope. I hope that maybe, just maybe, things might be okay. Just when I begin to think that could be true. Days like these happen. I hate these days. I hate these days so much. Therapy is already hard enough, and these nightmares make me feel what little progress I've made has been reset.
That feels just like every game. When you press new game, everything resets and you lose everything. Yeah, I'm someone really deep into drama. For example, if she were like Sans, she'd be so fucked up.
Whew. All of the doubts that I try so hard to keep in check break free and they're merciless.
I wipe away a few of her tears and gently grasp her hands in mine. We will get through this together. Sayori, just like I said, I don't care how long it takes, or whatever we have to endure. That's a promise. I'm never going to stop until we see this through. She looks away. Why is it that I never feel like I'm actually getting through her? I've just try and stay positive. That's right, Hollow. Optimism. For both our sakes. Even though seeing her like this is one of the most demoralizing things on the planet. Dread. No matter what, you'll never be alone in dealing with this. And if your pieces are broken, we'll create new ones. I can imagine how hard is it for you.
Really, Hollow? How can you possibly know what it's like to feel how I'm feeling?
Uh, Here comes the other part of the question, I think. That's not a mood swing. I forgot what the other part is. I think it's judgment. I don't know.
Exactly, you don't. You don't know what this feels like. The constant numbness, the constant feeling that no matter what I do, this shadow will always be here.
Does the shadow have red eyes? Because if so, you're fucked.
Crying myself to sleep, waking up in tears, having to fake everything because you're terrified that people will see the real you.
But I've seen the real you,
And you're still here, and you're still trying to help. I get it. I really do. I know you're trying to help, but it's hard to see your encouragement as anything more than just empty words.
holy shit, she's pulling out the big guns.
This isn't something you can fix just by saying the right stuff.
She burst into tears once more.
As much as I wish it was.
I scoop her into a hug. She tries to push me away initially, but I hold firm, holding her closer to my chest. She eventually gives in and sobs unrestrainedly into my chest.
I'm scared, Hollow.
I whisper softly in her ear as I gently stroke the back of her head. I know, Sayori. Basically, how he would whisper is like this. I know, Sayori. Okay, when I'm editing, I'll actually review that footage to see how the whisper went. I'm scared as well. We both fall silent, with the only sounds permeating the room being the sound of her anguished cries. Cass! Sayori. She mumbles into my chest. I'm sorry if I said the wrong things. I just don't know what the right things to say and do are. This whole thing is just totally alien to me. And after you told me that my words are pretty much empty, well, I'm starting to doubt everything. She winces slightly as she bites her lip.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It came out much harsher than I intended. I wanted to believe what you say. I really do.
Oh my god. Okay.
I know that I shouldn't feel jealous and that I shouldn't compare myself to the other girls. I want to believe all of the lovely, reassuring things you say to me, but I can't. I know what you're saying makes sense. Just internalizing it is a whole other story. It's not your problem. It's all on me, being unable to get over with this stupid thing.
Depression isn't just a stupid thing, though.
I know it's much more than that, Hollow. I just can't help how angry it makes me. I just want to be normal like everyone else.
Anyways, I'm going to save now. Whew, that was a nice that was a really interesting story jump. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I will probably give out more advices per video because, yeah, living a normal life isn't that good. It causes severe depression. Anyways, I'll see you guys in episode 20. Thank you so much for watching once more, and don't forget, don't live a normal life. Always change your plans of every day. That is a good advice that might save you one day. Trust me. Ta-ta!